All right, so y'all check this thing out, right? I just want, God, like, just talk about this because for 2 years while living in this place and all seeing all the things that have gone on, right? So there's this lady, and God bless everybody who's got a job.
But this specific one.
This lady, she is a parking enforcer, okay? And I've been watching for 2 years, press to walk down my alley to the construction workers that have built not just one building so far, but a whole nother building in just these 2 years, to write them tickets while they're working. So no matter what Mexican heritage, American, Asian background they are, right? They're workers. They're working. They're in an alley. There is no non-parking that is assigned through federal whatever. However, the building you see that's so crickets and that I'm involved in, the management has decided to put their own little no parking and peer Jill only parking. And even though the dentist is over there, they have private parking for them back there. And well, if anybody is engaged in any of these little places around in the alley, she races back to give them tickets. I've been like just watching this for 2 years, right? So I'm like trying to just observe everything as is anyway. But I'm curious as this whole American process, the dream. Do we have a dream just to obtain a job, just to like crunch one another?
Some do.
Because it seemed like as a taxpayer, and I have to be a taxpayer to have a job to pay the taxpayer condition of, for me to be working, even as construction in 1099 form, right? Back in an alley where this woman comes back to write me a ticket while she's doing work for the city, the state, for the federal, for whatever it is that she officializes her essential job for. The job for construction would be just as essential, right? Because they need these buildings in order to make their money, in order to put people into them, in order to employ people or to rent out to people while the product's already bought, paid for. So they come back and apply these tickets to your car, to your vehicle, even though you're providing a higher, so far more works of the hands, right, to be appreciative for. You're providing shelter, construction, in an alley, parked, just parked. That's it. Out of the way of traffic. Literally, an alley. And this lady for 2 years has been rushing back to this alley to give you a ticket. And you pay your taxes. She pays her taxes. But it's a federal city thing that essentializes one that over another one. And then yet my taxes that I'm paying to not have to pay these fines and shit like that, I am having to pay. I get locked up by the people who are taking my taxes in the departments that they're departmentalized in, conditioned in, and then given a policy to follow. But my taxes, past, present, ancient, now, whenever, and who's ever else's taxes upon taxes of taxes and filo tax, to feel me out and hurt me or warp me up into some bracket of fine when how much money, how much more money, how many more trees to make money, or the books or the gasoline? You know what I'm saying? Like, when Mr. Biden say everybody need to pay their fair share, well, what would the fair break down to if we all dividing ourselves so much amongst this Republican, Democratic, first African American, and yet the white so-called don't place a European Asian tag to them to tell y'all about this whole hierarchy thing that's happening, and that we are just people as we are, and that nobody should ever even still be outside or facing a parking ticket for land that's delivered to them via, you gotta get a car now, come buy your car, but then we're gonna make parking enforcement because we're doing all of these things. Then with things, we need to do more things. And with more things, we need to put in more things. And then yet everybody pay their fair share so that you can share a sale. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not understanding anything while also going through this thing called life. And then applied to each of us, our names, social security numbers, our green cards, or whatever person ID that comes attached, right? So they got to call and pay for these tickets that they getting for these last 2 years. But what if they call to pay on it? Or what if their name's not registered as, you know what I'm saying, it's supposed to be because they're here working? Like, this is just too much, in my opinion. And I feel bad for them workers back there who are out of the way in an alley. There's no parking as there is. And then, like, DC sets up this parking enforcement. You can't even get an ambulance through. I mean, I'm wondering, like, too, like, when did we deputize a mayor? The mayor situation? Like, a deputy of a mayor? I'm wondering, too, like, Trump and Tucker? That's a real Tucker right there. This is what do you think? Something big happening?
Beyond big. Something massive going on, bro. Behind closed doors. Ain't nobody paying no attention. Everybody just worried about this dumb shit that's going on. The White House being
Insurrected.
stormed by
Hamas.
yeah.
Like, what is the Hamas now? And why do you got parking people out there working if this Hamas is out there doing such horrible things? And Hamas to ISIS. Well, we didn't have nobody come on TV to speak on behalf of for ISIS like they're doing Hamas. And Hamas just all of a sudden appears in the USA while there is nothing going on about how Ukraine just started to become Gaza, Israel, Jerusalem, Israel, the state. But everybody is Jewish, right? Or the black's just African, but American status. Born wherever still makes anybody African. You see, we are freaking fallacying here into a fallow of wordplay and money. Go get your money, go get your paycheck so you can pay it all back to the ones that have literally appropriated themselves higher than you, the worker. While you sit in your normalcy of what you could afford, they are in their riches of mansions and galore more. But they are the servants, for you are the worker. But your work providing them working status essentially over you is your proprietorship, because you are the property. 1933, assigned, conditioned to get that check. Go get that job, and make sure you don't yearn to be a mayor or presidente. All right, bye.